So what we're going to do to prepare for the blanket, I've tried a few different ways. I started winding it on a ball winder, but then it took too much time. And I find that if you roll them into balls, that seems to unwind better. It doesn't get tangled. So we're going to take the skein and we're going to make 8 of these balls before we start. You can make just one and then get started to see if you like the squares. But because I'm in a whole production line, we're going to do 8 of these. This is the last ball from my last skein. So let's get started and I will show you how to do that. The great thing about the Red Heart Granny Square yarn is they have a center pull, which is going to help us. And what we're going to do is go through 2 cycles of the square, like from pink to black, and then we're going to pull out another pink to black, but turn it so we tie on the black next, and then it goes black to pink. So you'll see when we do it. We're going to roll a ball, and what we do is you wrap it around your fingers a few times, and then you take that off, and then we're going to turn it. Then we're going to wrap around this way a few times. You get faster at this as you practice. Round, around, around. Okay. Then we're going to squish it this way and wrap that way. And then I start to go like this. And let me just pull a heap out so I don't have to keep going off screen. Okay. And then as we wrap, we start to turn. And you will start to get a ball. So I'm holding it here and here, and I'm using this finger to turn it as we go. See? And you'll see like where my thumb is, we'll get like this little hole. And it doesn't have to be anything fancy. You just turn and wrap, turn and wrap. We're going to go all the way till we get to the end of the black. Then we're going to cut. So let's go. This doesn't take you long. This is a nice something to do in front of the television. And once you get used to it, you don't even have to look at it as you're doing it. And preparing the whole ball of yarn just makes it easy to just get going with your project, because then I chuck all the balls into a project bag and yeah, just start with the white and grab a ball and off you go. I was doing it square by square, but then it just, I don't know, made everything seem so much harder. So when you got all the balls prepared, you just go for it. And I think I even just changed directions of how I was wrapping. I'm not sure, but it still works. But yeah, these unroll really well. If you cake it, it seems to get tangled at the end. So now we're onto our black. We've got to get to the end of the black and we're going to cut it there. And then we're actually going to roll another ball. I have just tried to just pull it out, but then it got tangled. So you kind of double up on the ball rolling, but I always try and do the most efficient way, and I think that this ends up being the most efficient. So we're on 4 minutes. So I'd say this will take about 5 minutes each ball. So maybe, yeah, it takes 15 minutes. That's why you just want to be watching TV or listening to a podcast or something like that while you're doing this. Nearly at the end of the black. Here we go. So then we're going to cut it here. Then we need to roll, there we go, cut that. we need to roll a whole nother one because we want to join the black to the black. So we start again. So I'll do it like how fast I normally do it, and we'll see how long that takes. Whoop. What did I just lose off the end of the table? What was it? The ball. I already have a ball rolled. Okay. This is how fast I normally do it. Oh yeah, so there's no market today. Today's Sunday, and I think I'm going to post this as the market recap. So on the Friday video. Yeah, we've got the tropical cyclone Alfred off the coast, and it's supposed to actually come in at between Brisbane and Rockhampton. So I'm on the Gold Coast, and we're supposed to have very big winds. So yesterday we went to a kid's birthday party, one of Charlie's friends, and we had some pretty significant wind gusts. Like, they were strong enough to knock the poppers off the table. And yeah, so we're expecting that again today. So obviously the tents just can't be out in that weather, and all our stuff is just going to blow off the tables and that. So they cancelled the market. So yeah, it's Sunday, and I thought, yeah, let's just get this video done. There we go. That took about 2 minutes. Now, this is how I want you to join it, but you can join it however you want. But I like to join it with one of these knots where you put it together. I'm going to tie the knot like this with the two tails, and that way we're going to be able to undo the knot and weave it in without any knots. But you can join this however you want. So if you wanted to join it in a different way and like weave in the ends as you go or something like that, you probably won't combine these balls the way that I am. You might just leave them separately and just know that you need 2 balls for 1 square. So we have a look on the squares. It ends up looking like this, and then we can undo that and weave it in, because I'm trying to get to like a bit of a professional show level. Hopefully I'll be able to show some of these, and they don't want to see knots. So I could probably even show this blanket because I'm pretty sure there's no mistakes. And yeah, if I weave in the ends nice enough, then maybe. So now we've got our 2 balls joined. We're just going to take one, and we're going to keep rolling, and then we'll get to the start. You can put this ball in a basket or a bag or something so it's not rolling around. What have I got? I'll go get a little basket to put it in. Okay, I found a little container that I can roll around in there. Let's wind it up. Yeah, so we've had cyclones sort of come close to Brisbane, like a category 1, but this went up to a category 4. They say it's going to be a category 3 when it comes along the coast and finally comes in. But yeah, I mean, mainstream news isn't really talking about it, but we had a tornado a couple of years ago. Yeah, 2 Christmases ago. And they refused to declare a disaster zone. They refused to call it a tornado, but it flattened some houses, and we had destruction everywhere. Like, it was bad. So we had no warning. We didn't know. All the people whose houses were flattened, they didn't know that it was even a severe storm. 0 warnings. All the time when we have these disasters, we don't get any warning at all. But then we'll get heaps of warnings for normal storms. So anyway, you can see where my thumb was. There's a little hole. So once I'm finished, I just pop this under all the pink, and that's my balls done. So I'll roll all 8 of those, and then I get started on the blanket. But I'm not going to roll 8. I'm going to show you a square. So we are using 5.5mm hook. Now these are quite stiff, so, and they're a little stiff as you're working with them. So if you have a 6, 7 or 8, I would experiment with that to see what you like. It might change your measurements, just see how you go. We're doing 4 squares across for the bottom of the bed, so just test it on your bed, test out the measurements if you want to do Boggy Creek. You can always undo it and use the ball again, like, yeah. But yeah, I think this will just be nice anyway, because it'll just be a heavier blanket. So yeah, I'm using the 5.5. Then we're going to use a strand of your white. This is a new one. So I've been going between the Anko from Kmart and the 4 Seasons from Spotlight. They're both similar. This is very, very slightly thinner, but they do both work. Like, you don't see a difference. Yarn Buff. Oh. You can try and find the tail. And that is good. Lock the dogs outside, otherwise they'll start eating random stuff in here. And we're looking after a friend's dog, so she eats random stuff. Okay. We can just find the start. But yeah, this is $2.50 a skein, and the Spotlight one is $4.50 full price. You can often get it at $3. Okay, so then put the ball in your container so it rolls around a bit better. I'm going to put the 2 strands together. So this is white and our Red Heart Granny Square. And then we're going to make a slip knot however you like to make it. And we'll get started. So corner to corner, getting started is always the hardest part, I think, because you've got to do this weird flippy thing. But by the time you get bigger, it's easier. Now each block is, now the way I figured this out, so if you change your hook size, you might want to change how many squares. What I did was I worked it until I got to the black. And then I counted how many squares that was. And I believe it was, yes, it was 10. And then I knew that was halfway, like once you get to black, that's halfway. And then I needed to start decreasing. So the squares are 10 mini squares by 10 mini squares, and you should have 10 on the diagonal as well. But you will notice as you go through the skein, you'll get different amounts. Like we've got 3 blocks here of black and only 2 here, and the pink. And even up here, you'll notice you'll get different amounts of the extra pink, depending on how much you got of this. So definitely in the dye lots, you're not getting the same amount of each color each time, which is why it must be so frustrating for people who are making granny squares with it, because it's always different. So just know that it is always different. It's not the same. So it's not your tension, it's the way the yarn is dyed. So then if we look at this one, so this has all this extra pink, so we must have got less of this, and this only has 2 of the light pink, so we must have got more of a color somewhere, probably more of black actually, because we've got 3 of black here and 3 of black there. So the yarn is dyed differently each time. This one's quite even, like an even amount of all the colors, so just so you know. But this blanket, it doesn't matter, because as soon as you run out of the light pink, you put your own color on the end. All right, so let's get started. So you start with 5 chain. This is called mini corner to corner because we are using half double crochet stitches. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Of course, you are treating your yarn, the 2 strands, as 1 strand of yarn. To do a half double crochet, we yarn over. Now I say 3rd chain from the hook, 1, 2, 3, but it's also the 3rd this way. So, because we want to put 1 in here, 1 in here, 1 in there. So, and then I also go under 2 loops. So that's like our top loop, the back bump. So I go yarn over, and we go through here, and we want 2 loops on the hook. Bring it through, yarn over, and through all of the loops. That is a half, whereas a double would be go through and then loops twice, 1 and then 2. That is a double. So the half double, you straight away go through all of the loops. So we've done 1 half double, 2 half doubles, 3 half doubles. Make sure you go through all the right bits of yarn. Okay, and this is now one block. So then we need to increase. You increase by doing the 5 chains. Sorry about the dog in the background. They'll go away soon. 1. And I like to hold it this way. So it's always like I turn it so our increase is going out to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, yarn over, and then we're going to do these 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and 3. Whoop. Okay, so then we look like this, like a bit of a right angle. And this is where I always used to get confused, like where do I go next? Then we take this one, you flip it up, and then you'll see there is a 2 chain loop here. And we always work into the 2 chain loops. So go in there, slip stitch, which is just grab the yarn and pull it through. That's a slip. Then we do 2 chain and 3 halves into this 2 chain loop. 1, 2, 3. Now we're back on an outside edge because this is the square. We increase here and we increase up here. So to increase, we need to do another 5 chain. Oh, I'm just going to start again so we don't have storage issues. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's Charlie talking to the dog if you can't hear her. So we're increasing that way. And then we're going to do our 1, 2, 3 half double crochet. Then we turn. So ready? Half double crochet. 1. Oh, I didn't go under both loops. I'm going to go in there. 1. 2, 3. So that was our increase, but then we don't keep going back this way. We take this part, we flip it up, and that exposes a 2 chain loop right here. Okay, we go into the 2 chain loop. We grab the yarn, pull it through the hole, pull it through your loop. Then we go up with 2 chain and 3 half doubles. 1, 2, 3. Then we look for our 2 chain loop, which is right next to us. Here it is. And we're going to slip. So grab the yarn, pull it through. 1, 2, chain. 3 half double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're at the end of our row. 5 chain increase. This is the last one I'll do with you, and then you're going to continue until there's 10, and then I'll show you how to decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm pretty sure that's Sizzle at the door. She can hear my voice. I'll let her inside. Okay, Sizzle. Sizzle, come. Okay, here they are. No more crying. When you put it down, if you just set it down this way, you shouldn't get confused. Right, do our 1, 2, 3. In here. 1. 2. And 3. You can see we get those loops on there. And so we look like this. There's no 2 chain loop there, so we flip it up. And there it is. Hook in, grab your yarn, pull through, that's a slip. 1, 2 chain, 3 half double. It's easier to be doing your half double crochet when you're going in the 2 chain loop, as opposed to trying to get through the chain, especially if you're not used to, like it is a little hard to see with that white yarn. 1, 2, 3. Right, where's the 2 chain loop? Here it is. Slip, make sure you get both strands. Ooh, yeah. Slip, slip. David. 2 chain. That's why they're not allowed in here, because they start eating stuff. 2 half double crochet. 3 half double crochet. Where's the 2 chain loop? Here it is. Slip, chain 2. 1, 2, 3 half double crochet. Then you look like this, there's no 2 chain to go to, so we're going to chain 5 and then turn. Okay, go back and forth. Now what we're going to do is we're going to keep doing that, and somewhere when you start seeing black yarn, you want to start counting. Or when you start seeing the cream, the end of the colorway, you want to start counting until you get to 10. So at the moment we have, so each 3 half double crochet cluster is a block in your graphs. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 so far, and we need to get up to 10. So I'm going to do that off camera, and when we get to 10, I'm going to show you how to decrease back down to form the square. Okay, the time lapse was a little bit weird, especially my concentration face. But it only goes for 30 seconds. So we've reached the black. I'm just putting on my other camera. Right, so we've reached black. It's just started, but we're going to count how many do we have. So we've got 1 block, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can more feel them than you can see them. That's 8. So we're safe to continue to increase. That will give us 9. Go back down the other way, and then we'll count again, and we'll keep doing this and make sure that we start decreasing once we've got our 10th block. So I'll come back when that's ready. All right, so I've just reached the other side and we're going to count again because we're still on the black. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We can increase here again too, but that will be our 10th block. So we'll increase and we'll go back the other way. All right, we haven't reached the end yet. I'm halfway through that row. We do have 10 here now, but we're coming up to a knot. And I just want to show you how I deal with that. Okay, so here it is. Our knot's coming up, and what I like to do is hold the yarn and make sure the knot is loose and we're holding on to this part of the yarn. So I've done my 1, 2, 3 halves there. I'm up to a slip stitch. That needs to go over there. So slip, and we need this knot to come through. Where is it? There. Because we want it to keep coming through until everything's tight. Then we'll do, yeah, I want it to go through there as well because that's not quite firm. So just keep bringing your tails through. Boop. And then we pull that tight, that's all firm. So now our knot is on the outside. That's all we've got to do is keep pulling it through all your loops until everything's nice and firm and the tension that you like, but the knot is on the outside because we do want to undo it later and weave it in. And then we can keep going. So it's our 3 double crochet into here. And I'll see you at the end of this row where we will start decreasing. All right, we've reached the end of the row. I'm just going to show you something. So we now have 10 this way. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, diagonal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we need 1 more to make the 10. Same with here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ooh, is there 10? 9, 10. I counted that wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, there's 9. So if there were already, oh God, what did I drop? If there was 10 already, we would slip here. Oh. And this might happen on the other end. We would slip here and then we go up here. But we need 1 more. We need to go up 1 more. So we're going to slip here, chain 2, and put 1 more block on top because that will make our 10. Ooh. Oh, geez. What is going on? 1, 2, 3. That gives us 10 each way and 10 on the diagonal. And then I'm just going to do a chain here and turn. So normally we would put our 5 there. And then we've got like 1, 2, 3 little plait bits. So then I like to go, it's a bit hard to see. There's a hole there. It's hard to see on these, but underneath this braid is a hole. Then underneath this braid, and then we have our 2 chain in here. So I like to do 1 slip stitch. So you go through the hole and then straight through this loop. 1 under this chain, bring through the hole, straight through the loop. Then we're in our 2 chain. That's the last slip stitch, slip. and it just gives you a braid on the outside. It's a way to travel along without actually doing a stitch. Then we've turned our block and we go 2 chain up, 1, 2, and we can start going back the other way. So we're still in a 2 chain loop, okay? That's how you get back to your 2 chain loop. 2, 3, and we're up to our next 2 chain loop, and then off we go. We see how this starts us to go up, all right? So I'm going to get to the end of the row, and then we're going to start going the other way on the end of the row. All right, so I made it to the end of the row, so we're going to count up here and then see if we need one more or we turn straight away. Right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have enough. So we're going to slip into the top here. Slip here. I like to do just 1 chain so I can turn my work around. I'm just turning it. And then again, you've got these plaits. You can see the holes a bit better here. 1, 2, then there's our loop. So in here, slip, slip, and then slip into the 2 chain loop. 1, 2 chain, work back the other way as usual. So the 3 half double crochet here, 2 chain loop, 3 half double crochet, 2 chain loop. Up we go, and we're going to finish each edge that way with the slip stitches. So the only time you need to pay attention is making sure that we have 10 up, 10 across both ways, 10 on the diagonal, then you start decreasing. So it's pretty mindless until you get to the I need to count 10 to know when to start decreasing. Once you've started decreasing, we just decrease all the way until there's no squares left. All right, so I'm on my last block for the row. So I'm going to show you that and how we decrease again. So here's our last block. We can see the edge there. So we did our 2 chain up, do 3 half, 1, 2, 3. Then we just slip into this 2 chain. Oh, I missed a bit of my yarn there. Take the time to fix it up. In the loop, slip, 1 chain to make it easy to turn. Just turn the block around. And here you can see this easy. There's a hole there, which is underneath these chains. And then the 2 chain loop. So slip, slip, slip into the 2 chain loop, 2 chain, and we're going back the other way. We're going to keep going until we get to the last square, and then I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, that was a lie. We're going to keep going until we nearly run out of yarn, because then we got to join the baby pink on. So I'll show you what that's all about. Okay, I've continued decreasing. This is where we are, but you see we've still got a few more rows to go, and I've only got this much yarn, and that ain't gonna do it. So we get our color that we decided to match with the inner color of the squares. And so I'm going to get my pink, and we're going to tie it in one of those knots, which is you just wrap it around your finger and then through the loop. Boom. Leave yourself a bit of a tail because we've got to weave these in, and then we keep decreasing till we get to the end, but I'll show you a close-up of the last square. Alright, so I'll show you how to finish the last few squares. So we're now holding 1 strand of pink and 1 strand of white, and we ran out of the granny square yarn right here. And so we've done 1, 2, 3 blocks more. So I've just turned, and so we're going to go into this chain space. 1, 2, 3 halves. 2, 3. We're at the end of the row already. So we're gonna go into our 2 chain spot, slip stitch, chain, turn. Then we've got our 2 holes and the chain. So slip, slip, slip into the 2 chain. See, this is our last block. We just do 2 chain, 3 half double crochet, 1, 2, 3, and as we slip into this 2 chain loop, we're finished. That was the end. So we just cut this off, leave yourself a tail for weaving in. And then I like to slip, pull. That's it. We made a square. Ta-da! So now you just need to make 32 of those, and then we'll come back for assembly. I'm sorry, I should clarify. 32 squares using 4 balls of yarn for the large blanket. So for the Boggy Creek blanket, where you only need 3 of these for the squares, you'll do 24 squares. All right, so I'll meet you back when you finish that, and we'll lay out and assemble. Okay, see you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you like what you see, and check out these other videos.